Oh, hello? Hello? What's going on out there? Greetings. Once again, we are here. We are gathered here together for ancient relics and Hokey religions. We are switching roles for the introduction. And apparently, I'm speaking in a funny voice for some reason. Anyways.
Is that what you'd call it?
Funny, I guess? Yeah. I would say funny. You know why I did it though, Josh?
I thought it'd be funny.
No. I didn't do it that way. I'm not George Lucas. I don't make characters because I think they'd be... Actually, that's exactly what I do as a DM. So, anyways, we missed everybody. That if you're here, we missed you. If you're watching on YouTube, we missed you. We missed a week. But that doesn't matter because we're here now. And Josh, well done on changing the greetings from I'm Josh from JnJ Tabletop to I'm Jake from JnJ Tabletop. That's who I am. Also right here, as you can see. I am joined by a wonderful cast, starting off with our dungeon master, my good friend, the real Josh T. He's got the double barrel? No, just twin. Okay.
Yeah, I'm being Tomb Raider with my finger guns.
Oh.
But I always keep them pointed in a safe direction. So
that's good. Safety first. Anyways. And of course, we're joined by the rest of our castmates. We've got Evan over here on the screen. I mean, this is my right hand, so I'll just go this way. Yeah. And then below him is Izzee. And then, of course, my cousin and friend, Mr. Yoda. I am otherwise known as Michael. You will see our socials rotating underneath us throughout the entire show. The entire show. So if you want to follow a halfling monk or an ASMR sorcerer, you go ahead and do that. At least the thing that's right there.
There it is.
There it is. See, there's Twitter. You'll even see the icons. It's so convenient. But is there anything that anybody's involved in that they want to talk about that they might be doing this week, or that they want to just mention? No.
I can't think of any projects aside from one that you're probably going to mention later. But I have a funny story. I don't remember if I told you. It's completely irrelevant.
I like irrelevant.
Yeah, all right.
Irrelevant's fun.
So the other day at work, I was moving really heavy boxes, and this old guy who manages another part of the store was watching me do it, and he says, "Josh, you got to be careful lifting those. You're gonna bust a nut if you keep lifting boxes like that."
Oh. It's like, well, I think he meant a hernia. If I'm trying to.
That's what he meant.
See, because I'm older, I speak old person.
I almost dropped these 2 cases of things that I was holding, and my coworker goes, "Glenn, that doesn't mean what you think it means."
Yeah. Oh, so man.
That's all I have to offer right now. But
yeah, I think that's fine. I'm happy you shared it.
Somebody clip that. That'll be on the clip show. It'll be fun.
Absolutely. Which actually brings, I was going to mention this later, but if clip any of your favorite moments from tonight, it actually helps make the editing process a little easier on the editing staff for Rare Drop. And that's always a good thing. Plus, we like to just see what clips you felt were fun. So just do it. Yeah, anybody else have something they want to say? No. Okay, we're real lively today. So if you want to learn more about what's going on at Rare Drop, head to raredrop.co. They've got all sorts of shows, Star Wars and Scotch, Reckoning Hour. I believe they're ready to get resumed this week. They had, well, do we do spoilers?
Is this, it's been a while.
It's been a little bit.
We can give everybody a spoiler warning. So like, I'm going to start moving my hands in the air like this. This is your warning. There's a spoiler coming up.
Yeah.
For Reckoning Hour. When I give you the thumbs up, not right now, but next time I give you a thumbs up, then we're not, then we're done. Yeah.
So they had a TPK a couple weeks ago. I know. It happens.
Yeah.
It happens in D&D sometimes. And they had their session 0 for, I think, the next step of their show and adventure. Be exciting to see all the new characters. They'll be doing their thing on Tuesdays, just like they always do. And then we've got whatever else is going on. Head down to the About section on Twitch. And like I said, raredrop.co for that. If you're interested in catching up on old episodes of any Rare Drop roleplay things, that is actually podcast only at the moment. They have a new YouTube channel. Josh, if you want to put that link in chat for people to subscribe. They're going to be releasing those videos again periodically as they get caught up with things. They've obviously got their hands full with GCX things, which is pretty dang important. So if you can, go ahead and support them in that endeavor.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we've since we skipped a week, we normally do a new video once a week. We actually made 3 since the last time that we were live. Starting off with last week, we had how to make a sandbox. That was one of my favorite intros we did, Josh.
I loved that intro.
I thought it was fun.
That was a lot of fun.
It's a construction zone. He's got his hat still in bed. Here he comes. Yep. You gotta know how to build a sandbox. You gotta know what you're doing. That's right. But yes, Josh has used a lot of these tools that we're going to talk about in that video for this adventure that you've hopefully been able to watch with us and enjoy with us during this time. And that's a big tool in the Dungeon Master's toolbox. There was another Unearthed Arcana that came out as well, which came out with a whole bunch of draconic player options, sub-races for Dragonborn, kobolds, and even some new spells, some really cool stuff, and draconic feats as well. So that was really cool. Josh and I streamed that, and then we talked about different things and stuff like that. So that's up on our YouTube. And then we released a video, which actually going to roll right into the lesson, but how to get your players to roleplay more. That's a very common thing Dungeon Masters are asking. Like, how do I get my players to roleplay more? How do I get my players to roleplay more? And we're like, well, we can teach you. And I think that's where Josh is going to take the baton here. So it's kind of like a DM thing. That's why we switched.
Yeah. Well, the other reason we switched is because just thought it'd be funny. But
Thought it'd be funny.
You guys will get used to that joke at some point, hopefully.
I doubt it.
But yeah, we're going to talk about how to encourage more/better roleplay. There's a lot of different ways to play this game, and there really is no right or wrong way to play it. Some people literally play for the combat and that kind of stuff, and they just want to roll dice and do the things, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're playing a game like we're playing and you like the kind of style that this game is, or if maybe you're a fan of like Critical Role or something like that, and you just love how into their characters are, but when you're at the table, it's not really working out like that, here's some tips to just kind of encourage a little bit more role-playing in there. First thing I would say, voices. They can help. That is the most obvious way to just really get players like immersed, right? If you're doing some sort of, whether it's a funny voice or just changing just inflections and that kind of stuff, it helps, but it's not necessary. It's not the only way. If you're not good at voices, don't worry about it. Don't focus on that. If you like voices and you are good at voices, then get wild with it. Personally, I like how, especially like all the players at this table or like a bunch of the other games we've played, you can clearly tell when the character is saying something versus when the player is saying something. And that's a big thing for me. I like that. But the next way, and I think this helps even more than voices, I'd say is explaining your skill checks, right? Don't just say, I want to roll investigation, or I want to roll like my thieves tools or like anything like that. When a player does that, if you're the DM, ask them to explain it. Ask them to really set the scene for you and just be like, okay, well, yeah, when I do this, I'm looking around and checking the room. I'm rummaging through like the books and that kind of stuff. And to me, that helps you get more immersed. And when you're immersed in the game, you're going to be role playing more. That's just kind of, if you're immersed in it, it's going to feel more real. If it feels more real, you're probably going to treat it as if it's real, which would mean you're role playing, right? So explain your skill checks. And then DMs, try to emphasize and focus on things that are important to the players or important to the characters. And important to the players could tie into like the explaining your skill checks thing, right? So one of the examples that I've used a couple times in JnJ videos is, say you have a player that has experience like hunting, right? So when your characters are in the Mistwood Wilds and they have to find something and, you know, track some sort of animal, and then they need to find like food like that, have your player that actually knows how to do that in real life, let them really explain it. And I'm not talking about like gory details and that kind of stuff and like, you know, it smells like decaying flesh and like, you know, whatever you want to say, not anything like that. Just have them explain the process, have them talk about how they look and they see the tracks and they see, you know, everything like that. I'm not an expert on that, I've never hunted before, but have them really do something that's important to them like that, something that they know about and are an expert on in real life, and explain it. It's going to give them a moment to shine. They're going to feel really cool, and it's also going to make the world feel alive for the other players, because they'll really get a good visualization of what's happening. Other thing is the other side of that, as like emphasizing things that are important to the characters, is if you had a session 0 and you made some characters with the players, and you know things that are important to their characters, tie those in. There's something that's important to the character and you just kind of pepper that in, you know, even if it's something as simple as a favorite food, right? You all have a favorite food. Every character has a favorite food or favorite drink. Every once in a while that pops up, and that's an exciting thing, right? That gives you a moment to, yeah, it gives Echo a moment to be like, I'll have one of those, you know. And then,
those Donf noodles.
And it just little things like that really help.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest things I would say is ask your players how their characters are feeling about specific things that are happening. Something intense just happened. Before you make them roll dice or do anything like that, just say, kind of give them like a recap, right? You just faced off against this guy. You just faced off against Freeman. He locked you in this room. He left you for dead. You're trapped here. What's going through Vale's head right now? What's going through Melly's head right now? That's going to give the players an opportunity to really think about what their character is going through and how their character would react to that. And before they move on and just explain like, explain what they want to do next, what would make sense for the game, they're going to have to actually think about, well, what realistically, what is my character feeling right now? And that's going to help them get into their character's head. If you understand your character, you're going to be able to roleplay that character a lot better. Last thing I would say is, please, for the love of God, don't force it.
Yeah.
Don't force it.
Yep.
It, like anything, if it's not coming up naturally and you're trying these things and it's not working, don't just try to force them to do it, because that's going to be a lot worse than just having less roleplay. If you feel like your players are not roleplaying in a way that you want them to or anything like that, you feel like you're doing everything right, just have a conversation. Just be like, hey, you know, I'd like to see like a little bit more roleplay. I like that you guys are doing this, that, and the other thing. Like, do you feel like there's something we could do to really like get into it or whatever? And just have a conversation, see what they say. Maybe that's not the type of game they're into, and you know, you just got to shift things around, and that's fine.
Absolutely.
Now, before we move on, does anybody have any tips about role playing for anyone? Anything I didn't mention, or you want to expand on something that I did mention, or you disagree with something that I mentioned?
I really like your explaining the skill checks point. And I know it really wasn't a skill check moment, but when Echo was singing the Star Child song, I remember feeling like I'm at the campfire right now, sitting where Vale is, and I'm seeing Echo sadly sing this song. Like, that helped for me. And this is a group I feel like kind of spoiled when it comes to roleplay, because I feel like it's really one of our primary motivations for playing D&D.
Mhm.
But that was definitely a moment where I was like, I am so there, like right now. Like it's just anything that it's about immersion, like you said. I love that.
Yeah, I think that's a great example too that I didn't really mention, but we did talk about in the video, which is just downtime and giving your players opportunities to have downtime. Gives them an opportunity to see who their characters are outside of combat and stuff like that. So even if it's just like expanding on a long rest more than just like, okay, you rest and now you wake up and you have your half your hit dice back and this, that, and the other thing. It's okay. You're resting. I know Melly's cooking food. I know, Vale's got his face in a book. Like, what are you doing? What's Echo doing? What is he thinking about before you actually go to sleep? And having that opportunity to, even if it's just in the long rest, or if you are in a city and you're able to go do your thing, figuring out what your character would do when they're not like fighting for their lives. That's going to give your character's personality. It's going to make you understand your character a little bit more. It's going to give you more opportunities for role play. So I think that's a great example. Jake.
Yeah, I agree. Evan, did you have something you were gonna say? I think.
Not really like an example or anything like that, but just kind of writing little things down like that. I mean, it obviously helps to do that up front, but then if you have those little moments where I have these with Echo a lot, where it's like, oh, actually, I think Echo would feel this way about this kind of thing. And it may not be something that he's directly involved with. Let's say it's a situation that another character is more directly interacting with. Then you might just think for a minute, like, okay, how does my character want to interact with that? Or how would they interact with that? And just kind of like, oh, I'll write that down. He doesn't like this kind of thing. He's iffy about, like, he doesn't like his clothes being dirty. Even something like simple like that will influence a lot of things going forward.
Yep.
Yeah, for me, it's just detail. Just keep writing down details.
Absolutely.
Really
I think
good.
that's excellent. Yeah. Because role playing isn't like, it's not necessarily those like big moments where, like you put the sad music on and like, you're talking about whatever crazy thing and like getting like all choked up and that it's also just being like, well, how strongly does my character feel about having wet socks? Like, is that something that he's gonna be really pissed off about, or
Yep.
is it something that he'll just like continue on his day?
Mhm.
Me just as a human, I absolutely hate wet socks, and I will walk around barefoot
the
anywhere
worst.
before having like a tiny wet spot on my sock.
If I could tell you how many fights Kim and I have gotten in because she spilled water on the floor, I'm like, now my socks are wet. Like, that's why I wear slippers all day.
Yep.
But it's just silly stuff.
Yep. But little things like that are personality, and that's real. And when you're giving your character personality like that, you're just giving yourself more fodder to role play with. More fuel.
Nice use of the word fodder.
Thanks.
Does anyone else have something they want to talk about? Well, then this is just another reminder to clip your favorite moments from tonight. And then, Josh, are we gonna get started?
Before we get started, I want to read a comment from Skeletal Gadget.
Uh-oh.
As Sir Brandon Sanderson says, it's better to explore ideas deeper rather than wider. I don't know who Brandon Sanderson is, but I like that a lot.
You don't know who Brandon Sanderson is?
I don't think so.
It's not just me. Ha! So it's me.
I'm shocked at you, Josh. I really am.
Well, all right.
He's a fantastic fantasy writer.
What's his Wheel of Time?
He finished the Wheel of Time series, but he also has had a few other series of his own. He's a fantastic writer.
All right. Well, you heard it here, folks. Go read a book by Brandon Sanderson. Clearly, I have my homework cut out for me. All right. Does anyone need anything before we get started? Everybody good?
I think
Nobody
so.
needs
What
to
kind
get a
of music?
snack?
What kind of music do you want for this recap? Are we going peaceful? I feel like it's finally peaceful.
What kind of music do you want for this recap?
I don't know what you're gonna say.
Peaceful
What music that's gonna. Okay. All right, let's see. We'll break the fourth wall here and hit the peace button. See if it works. Please work. Please work, Stream Deck. There it is. Ah. Oh.
Ooh, there it is. I don't know why I did that like Duke Nukem, but
Nice reference.
Last week on Ancient Relics and Hokey Religions. Oh yeah. Last time on Ancient Relics and Hokey Religions, our group of adventurers, well, they have been through some stuff. After being left for dead, they traveled through the caves and caverns underneath Molespire. They wandered through a labyrinth for God knows how long. They fought some nasty monsters in there. They found a pretty cool dagger. And they continued on. Fought a massive Hive Lord Queen thing. And as they continued on through these caverns, they realized that they really didn't know where they were, and it probably going to take a long time to get out of here. After finding some water, making camp near it, Vale had a vision in which the artist formerly known as Spooky Johnson told him that if he wanted his friends to be safe, and if he wanted them to leave and make it out alive, they would need to take a dive of faith, swim into this freezing cold water, going underneath a barrier, and trusting him that they would find their way out on the other side. Well, Vale had to work pretty hard to get them to follow along, and Mac helped out big time. It's probably Mac is the reason that everyone listened.
He did the heavy lifting.
So after some conversation, some argument, and some discussion, they all decided to take this dive. And when they plunged into the icy water, which felt like daggers on their skin, they swam and they swam and they swam until it felt like they had no air. When it felt like they had no air left, they finally made it to a barrier, and they broke through that barrier because Melly is freaking strong, swole AF. She broke through it and found that it is no longer fall. They're in the middle of winter, as a layer of snow was on the ground and ice over the water. They looked around and got themselves warm and continued on their way, trying to find their way to Isis Teal and trying to find their way to the paw print. Well, eventually they made it. They met an old quirky man, stayed in his cabin, and had some discussion and some calm times after some really crazy and stressful stuff. After dinner and after their wind down, they all took a rest, and that is where we will pick up. I believe everyone was in a separate room. Let's start off with Melly. Melly, the last thing that happened to you was you had your vision with your spirit guide, who I think we're just calling Morgan now. But he gave you a bit of perspective, and as I've heard it said before, perspective is a hell of a drug. And he put something in your hand, closed your hand around a note. and then he vanished. You wake up hours later, the sun shining through your window as it does the day after it snows, where the light's just reflecting off the snow, and it's always so bright, you know? And it's just feeling like a bright, peaceful morning. What you doing?
Well, I guess it's time to get up and get going. Mellie's gonna throw off the covers, swing her feet over the edge of the bed. Does she have a note in her hand?
You said you did what with the covers?
Threw them off.
As you throw them off, you hear just like as some papers rustle and fall onto the ground. And there's a little mini-sized scroll sitting on the floor at the foot of the bed.
What does it say?
It is a spell scroll of sending. So, if you don't know, now you know. Sending is a 3rd level spell in which you send a short message of 25 words or less to a creature with which you are familiar. The creature hears the message in its mind, recognizes you as the sender, if it knows you, and can answer in a like manner immediately. The spell enables the creature with an intelligence score of at least 1 to understand the meaning of the message, and you could send it across any distance, even to other planes of existence. But if the target is on another plane, there's a 5% chance that it won't arrive.
Is it a one-time use scroll too?
You would know that is typically how scrolls work.
Okay. Mellie's gonna put it in the bag of holding for now. And she's gonna go see if anyone else is awake. She's gonna like tiptoe in her socks. She doesn't want to wake anyone else up if they're not up yet.
Since you were the first one to go to sleep, I think it's safe to say you were the first one to wake up.
I would actually like to challenge that. If possible. Vale only needs 4 hours.
Fair. What you got?
I think he would wait for the literal crack of dawn. And he would take out his copper wire, point it at Mac's door, and just say, "I'm sorry to wake you up like this, but meet me outside."
Okay.
You reply to this message.
Literally just okay.
Okay, and
And
Val's gonna go downstairs and see if anybody's around.
Are you trying to be quiet and like not wake anyone up?
I am.
Roll a stealth check.
Okay. That's a 10. I rolled a 3.
Melly, how early do you think you would get up? Would it be dawn or would it be later?
Definitely like when the sun starts to come in. I feel like if not a little bit earlier, because that's the time that she would normally get up. So,
Because of the farm? Okay.
yep, that's why she's so strong. She's a farmer girl.
That's right.
Fair.
So yeah, Val is trying to creak his way out down the stairs.
Does he just hit like every floorboard that he steps on? Is like, "Er!"
Probably stubs his toe on something, not realizing it. Like,
I think yeah, Melly, as you like see the note, you do hear like just a little, like, just maybe like when he hops out of bed, just a little like, you know.
Melly will open the door, poke her
I
head
mean-
out.
You could.
I guess it's just how far in the process along I am, so.
How fast do you think you'd be going?
I think Vale actually is amped up a little bit, so he might be towards the staircase to head down.
All right.
So you might see the back of him with he's got his cloak on.
I think that's exactly what Melly would see. She would see someone, not necessarily know that it's you, but she'd see someone going down the stairs.
I'm just gonna go down the stairs too. I have no reason to not go down the stairs. Can I also do it quietly?
Yeah, roll stealth check. Yeah,
Math.
It's hard.
It's a 13.
My passive perception is a 14.
Yeah, you hear her.
So you just see him kind of turn, and he has a. He
So
just
you
says,
probably.
"Oh, hey, hello, Melly. Did you sleep well?"
Good morning. I did. It's very nice to not be so far under the ground.
Yes, I would certainly second that notion.
Is anyone else awake?
I don't know. I was just going to get some fresh air. I'm used to the cold living this far north.
Okay, do you think Owen is awake yet? Maybe I could get breakfast going for everyone.
Oh, I don't think I've seen him, have I, Josh?
Not yet, no.
I haven't seen him yet. He strikes me as the kind of fellow who would not mind that at all.
Alright, well, I guess let's see if he's awake then.
All right. I think Mac took his room.
Oh. Well,
I would have been coming out of the room, I feel like, at this point, because I don't think when getting that kind of a message, I wouldn't have like taken much time to start heading out.
Okay.
And I would be trying to do it stealthily also.
Just
Roll
try not
stealth
to wake
check.
anybody up.
Echo is just.
Oh. And that's an 11.
I think even Melly heard you on that one.
Which is mathematically the worst I can get as a stealth check.
That means it's a 2.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, so same type thing. I mean, as you guys are walking down the stairs and having this conversation, you just hear a little pitter patter of halfling feet coming up behind you.
well, you know, Vale, I feel like out of all of us, I feel like Mac needed a little bit of extra, you know, just comfort. I feel like he's done so much for us, and I don't know, I want everyone to be comfortable, but it seemed like he could have used the big room tonight. Or last night.
Who knows? Maybe he'll have it again.
Yeah.
But speaking of Mac,
Yeah, I mean, Mac, I don't necessarily know that Melly would know that you heard that, but you heard at least the majority of what she was saying about that as you you pop down. And also, I mean, Echo, if you think you'd be waking up around this time, pop in. If you think that Echo would either be still sleeping or would just be meditating or whatever, then that's
So I would say
totally fine.
normally Echo probably would have been up already, but because of how like that cold hit him to his bones and he ate a big meal and had like a comfortable bed, he's knocked. Just
Okay.
knocked.
Yeah, you also stayed up the latest out of everyone, so.
You met
And
Peapod.
I'll just say this. We'll continue on with the other three, but whenever you think Echo would wake up and join in or whatever he would do, just chime in and let us know. So
Vale would
Mac enters the scene.
Yeah, Vale would just continue down the stairs.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mac.
Good morning.
Early risers today, huh?
Most of the time.
Yes. Well, going to get some fresh air. See if I can get some perspective.
Understandable.
I think I'm going to try and see if Owen has anything that I could cook up for breakfast. I don't know what's here, otherwise I would ask what you both would prefer.
Oh,
Anything edible is good for me.
not having to eat rations is going to be outstanding.
As we go down the stairs, do we see Owen?
Yeah, as you walk down the stairs, you don't see him, but you just hear coming from like the kitchen area.
So yeah, I guess I kind of picture this almost like this open concept, like cabin situation. So like I feel like but like the stairs almost like a craftsman in the middle of the room, of the house. I mean, and like I feel like I could just turn to my right, and
Yeah,
I feel like that's how I don't know. I'm just picturing this craftsman cabin.
absolutely. Yeah, you walk down the stairs, turn to your right, and you see that he's got this really nice and rather large bowl in one hand, and he has a whisk in the other, and he's just kind of whisking away. He doesn't seem to have noticed you or paid any attention to you yet.
Vale would just head towards the front door. I think that's not purposely trying to be sneaky or anything, but just
just doing exactly what you said you would do.
Melly's gonna go over to Owen.
Okay.
Good morning. Can I help prepare breakfast?
Ah, Melly, it's nice to see you this morning. Did you sleep well?
Better than I have in a very long time, it feels like.
I'm happy to hear that. I was just cooking up some pancakes. Would you like to join in and help out?
Yes, I would love to help.
Perfect. You have I have an apron right over there you could borrow.
just going to get some fresh air. Good morning, Owen.
Good morning, Vale.
Do you need anything from outside?
No, sir, but just stick to the path. It'll be clearer. There's a lot of snow out there.
I will. Thank you. And Vale heads out the front door.
Mac, it's nice to see you this morning.
Good morning. How long do you think it'll be before breakfast is ready?
Yeah, maybe another 20 minutes or so.
Alright. Sounds good. And then I just turn and walk toward the door.
Yeah.
I feel like such a jerk. Also not my house, but
Hey, he was doing this before you guys woke up, so it's safe to assume that he was just going to do this for you anyway. So there's no obligation to help
it's
at
fine.
all.
Yeah. I think Vale would just be kind of maybe 15, 20 feet off of the front porch on the path, just kind of looking out. Maybe how close are we to the river? Is the water nearby?
So you were a few miles off from the river.
Yeah. Okay.
But there is this wraparound like porch on it. And now that it's not as dark and stormy, you kind of get a better lay of the land, and you can see that the cabin itself is built on a hill. And there's these large trees all around the cabin, and this deck porch wraparound thing that it has, it overlooks a little lake, and you could see the sun shining off on the lake, and the latter end of the sunrise. There's some birds just flying by, a couple of squirrels running around on the yard. There's some wildlife over here. It's almost like you found the first part of the Savalier Wood that feels the way a forest should feel.
I think Vale would just start heading towards the lake, assuming there's a path. If there's no
There's a
path, okay. Yeah.
It's bad.
And then he would just be looking at the water, waiting for Mac if he's going to show up or not.
As you get down to the lake, there's like a dock that goes out, probably about like 10 feet into the lake.
Yeah, I think Vale's just going to be standing at the edge of that.
So Mac would go out the door and try to see, like, either follow the path or see if he could see where Vale went.
Yeah, you could definitely see him. I mean, as you step out, we'll say, but by the time you stepped out and walked over there, you see him standing at the edge of this dock, just looking out at the water. He's so edgy.
What's going on?
He just turns around and he looks at you, and you know the look that you're not going to like what he has to say. He just says, I think they should know.
Why?
Because I would want to know. And we were in a situation. I don't regret what I've done. I don't regret trying to get everybody out of there, but there is a darkness about this that they should know about. And we lost months of time. I do truly believe that if you were to offer that trade to them, that they would take it, but I mean, are we older? Did they lose that? Did we somehow travel forward through time? And the reason I haven't said anything to them is fear. Fear that they wouldn't understand. But I wanted you to know first. To at least hear what you think. I don't know.
Well, I can't say that I necessarily can't say I necessarily agree with it. With what they've experienced or lack of experience in the world, they may react negatively to this, to something that we may need.
I understand that.
And that worries me, because if we were down there, I understand that we lost however many months coming up. But if we hadn't done that because they just didn't trust it or didn't believe it or were too afraid of it, we could have been stuck down there forever or never made it out.
Yes. Like I said, I would do it all again. Just... Do you see the way Echo looks at me now? I'm not saying... Who's to say what's right and wrong?
How soon are you going to tell them?
I don't know. I don't know. The right moment? Today? Next year?
Okay. I mean,
Probably
I
today.
I mean, I understand, you know, I understand how you're feeling. I can't say that I 100% felt good about everything that I had to do.
You saved their lives.
Oh, I know, and I would do it again. But it still leaves an oily feeling on your hands at the end of the day.
Exactly. And I think my fear was rooted in not feeling like I could trust someone. With this information, and I've done so much of this on my own, and we've done such a good job being together. And I would never throw you under the wagon. I would just let you handle that part however you wish. I would just address all of you and tell you all what happened.
I appreciate it. Can you, at the very least, give me like 15 or 20 minutes when we get back in the house before you do it?
Oh yes, definitely on a full stomach. And Owen seems like a very nice guy, but this doesn't exactly seem like his business.
Yeah, this part would probably be best if it was without him around.
Yes. I think so.
I appreciate you giving me a heads up about this.
I didn't want that to just come out of the blue.
I still don't think it's a good idea, but you know I'll have your back.
And I have yours. And Vale just goes in for the gladiator Roman handshake.
When I return it.
It's like, but yours barely passes my wrist. No, just kidding. There you go.
I'm on my tippy toe.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not that short, but
Well,
And
it's probably time for breakfast anyways. It really
Yeah.
could go for some pancakes about now.
Alright. So, everybody, let's just hone in on that nice little view right now, because let's take our first break, because I just had a 6-cup Chemex of King's Coast, and I have had to pee for the last 20 minutes.
I'm fine with this decision too.
We'll be right back, guys. Any questions about anything, just pop it in chat. And also, if you want to learn more about King's Coast, I think it's Command Coffee. Yeah, it's Command Coffee. So check that out. We'll see you in a second. Anyway, how's everybody doing? We all good?
Yes. Ready.
Alright.
I
So
think.
while y'all were having your conversation, Melly is getting busy in the kitchen with Owen. So you grab your apron, hop it on, and he's gonna tell you. I mean, you still hear the, as he's like just continuing to whisk this little mixture that he's got together. And he'll just say to you, I appreciate the help. Whoa, that was Morgan, I think. Say, I appreciate the help. I was making some pancakes. Do you think there's anything else they would like?
Well, I know that some of their favorite dishes are not exactly breakfast foods. Maybe we could do waffles?
Sure. So, pancakes and waffles.
Yeah, a waffles. It's like a pancake with syrup traps in it, so it kind of holds all the sweetness right there.
Now here's the question: would he have a waffle iron?
I want menagerie toast.
Wow. Oh man. Oh my gosh.
You just keep throwing them out there. Eventually, you're gonna get a good one. That's all I'll say about that.
That's amazing. All right, let's roll to see if he has a waffle iron. Oh, he's got a waffle iron. It's a Belgian waffle iron. Yeah, he's gonna say, all right, I think we can make that work. Do you think they would like pancakes as well as waffles, or should we scrap the pancakes and just make some waffles?
Is it too much trouble to do both? I definitely don't want to neglect any one of pancakes. I know the texture's a little different sometimes because the waffles get a little bit crispier. It's funny actually. My mother, we live on a farm and we grow plums, and sometimes she'll finely chop the plums and she'll put them in the batter. It makes it a little bit sweeter and moist, and yeah, actually, I whichever is better for you. I'm sure it'll be fine.
All right, well, how about this? Excuse me. I'll work on the pancakes, and you could work on the waffles. Here's all the ingredients. I'll get my waffle iron out for you, and I actually have some plums that I've been saving. Now, I'm sure they're not as good as the plums you're used to, but you're welcome to use them.
Are you sure? I don't want to take up any of your ingredients. I don't know how difficult it is to get plums out here. It seems kind of away from everywhere else.
Melly, one of the greatest pleasures in life is sharing good food with good people. So, you're more than welcome to use my ingredients.
Thank you very much. I'm very excited to cook these for them.
I'm excited to have a partner in the kitchen. So I feel like right now there's like there's like a montage of, you know, some sort of like fun dance music going on, maybe like the twist or something like that, as you guys do your thing in the kitchen.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
And as you as Mac and Jake pop back in, they are greeted as they get to the door. Not really when they walk in, before you walk inside, the smell hits your face of like a sweet bread, and also the smell of bacon. Yeah, Melly, we gotta do some cooking checks. See how good your food comes out.
Yeah.
Now, I guess first off, do you have any skills that you think would apply to just cooking, making waffles? Do you have any relevant experience that you think would give you proficiency in this? Just any case you want to make, let me know. We'll do your thing. Also, like I was saying before, explain your checks if you want to explain your process, any sort of special ingredients you're using, any sort of the way you fold something in the batter, anything like that. Go for it. Let us know what's going on.
All right, so Melly is gonna start by heating up the skillet. I don't know how they do that in the olden days. I'm assuming they don't have electricity. Maybe it's magic. Just pushes the little magic button on it, starts to warm up.
To be fair,
Yeah,
they probably have fire.
Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
wood burning stoves.
Yes.
Well, all right, everybody, just erase
Yes.
that from your
And
brain.
there's a stove that runs on burning hands.
Well, he said Belgian, and so Belgian, I think, is the one that you pour it and then you flip it. But I guess they have old school ones where, like, you put it in the fire. Okay.
Evan knows.
First things first. I'm gonna use. Does this apply? I don't know if this applies.
What you got?
Can I use insight to see if the skillet is hot enough to pour the batter on and not burn it, but cook it? The
Insight.
intentions of the iron.
I'm gonna say probably not.
Okay.
Just because I don't know. Insight is more of the intentions of like a living thing. If you're just trying to see if something's hot enough, that sounds more like perception. Not that you have to use perception, but
Can I use survival?
absolutely survival. Yeah, survival has to do with like hunting and that kind of stuff, and like food procurement. So I would say making food. Why not?
All right, here we go. First check.
Except I'm sure Xanathars disagrees with me.
You're the GM. You call the shots. Here we go.
That's
Moment of
right.
truth. Oh boy. Oh god, guys, these waffles are gonna be burnt.
Any sort of explanation you give on how you do this might give you more of a we'll say lesser of a DC or more of a bonus. It's the same thing either way. So
Okay. So Melly's gonna have a cup of water with her. She's gonna have it open and she's gonna just like drip a couple of drips onto it to see how quickly it evaporates off, to judge how hot it is.
okay.
And she got a 14.
Okay. I'm first off, I'm gonna say roll with advantage because you're testing it. You're not just winging it.
Okay. Oh, that's so much better. 24.
Oh yeah, yeah. You find that perfect spot where it's exactly the heat that you want it to be, and it seems it's nice. It's very nice.
Okay.
When did
so
the plums go in?
those go into the batter? Like you chop them up like finely. I'm just making this up, so I don't know if this would actually work in real batter.
Sounds good to me.
Doesn't have to actually work. Just whatever you think.
Yeah. So she chops them up real fine, and then puts them in the batter, and like leaves out some of the water because it's a wet ingredient. And then you just make them like you normally would.
Okay. Awesome.
Okay, so she's gonna pour, the batter onto the skillet, and then she's gonna close it, and then she's gonna do like a little fancy, like, little flippy thing, and I guess, should I roll performance for that? She's gonna kind of be like, oh, and look what I could do.
Sure. Yeah. If you're showing off, roll performance.
All right. Oh my gosh, that's fantastic again. 22.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. What is it? What does that look like with how you're showing off there? I know
So
you just mentioned. Sorry, Eddie barked.
So she's gonna put it in the fire. She's gonna wait until it's time to flip it, and then like she's gonna pull it out quick and do like 7 quick turns of it, and then put it back in the fire and like kind of shake it a little, and then I don't know what to do next.
I'd say you successfully cooked some really nice waffles. I'm not. You don't have to. You don't have to keep it going.
It's a
You did a great job.
montage. It's a montage. You're killing it.
Yeah. And then while you're doing that and trying to show off, Owen has pancake on the a cast iron pan, and he's gonna and he actually tosses it up. It flips, and then when it lands, it doesn't land flat. It lands like on the middle and just kind of like folds over, and like it gets all like gross. When you don't flip it right,
like,
and
dang
it's
it.
just not going to cook evenly and everything. Yeah, so in the montage you see it, like it hits the ceiling, it does that, and then you have that like. And we'll say, at this moment, you have cooked several pancakes, several waffles, bacon, and mac and Vale. I mean, when you're up to the door, you smell the food. You walk right in.
I think Vale just looks at Mac with his eyes wide.
I just kind of nod and open the door.
Yeah.
Also, Evan, I know I told you chime in whenever, but also, do you think that Echo would wake at the smell of food, or do you think he's
so that's pretty much what I was gonna say. Like a minute or two after whatever fragrant thing hit iron and started cooking, whether it was bacon first or like the pancakes or the waffles or whatever, once the smell hit upstairs, he would definitely like sleepily, almost like he's got a hangover or something, get up and just walk right. He doesn't even like get himself all ready. He just kind of walks out and down the stairs. And I think he'd just watch as they're cooking. I think he would make a point not to interrupt anybody. Not like being stealthy on his approach down the stairs, like sneaking, but just, he'd walk down. His hair is not tied up. It's all like loose.
I was gonna say he got
probably
some
one
bedhead.
good spike
Yeah.
sticking straight up to the side because of the way he was sleeping, which by the way, he was not under the covers. He just like fell down on the bed and just knocked out. So he just kind of watching everything happen.
Okay. Yeah, just enjoying this like cute, peaceful moment and just happy time. I love it. Yeah, so when Mac and Vale pop in, they see Echo hanging out and just enjoying watching that, and then you see you see Owen and Melly just kind of putting the finishing touches on their food.
Val would just meander into the kitchen a little bit and just... Does anything need to be set at the table, or can I bring anything?
Oh, welcome back, Vale. Thank you for the helping hand.
It smells
Yeah.
really good.
Hopefully, it tastes as good as it smells. That cabinet on the right-hand side has all the plates. Utensils are in the drawer right over there. If you'd like to grab some and set some spaces at the table, I think we'd appreciate it.
Yeah, Val just nods and does so.
Good morning, Echo.
Good morning, Mr. Owen. And good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
It is a good morning.
How did you sleep?
Wonderfully. I apologize if there was more I could have done to help, but whatever that chill was yesterday certainly went down to the bone. So, again, my apologies, but it's good to see you all this morning.
Val gives him a pat on the shoulder.
He smiles and he's kind of like awkwardly. He like as he was like talking and stretching, he like felt the one piece of his hair that was sticking up weird, and he's like kind of trying to
Yeah.
slick it back.
So they'll just kind of after Vale is getting all the plates like set up and everything, they'll put all the food on the table, and there's just a feast of bacon and some eggs and pancakes and waffles, and Owen will just kind of mosey on over to a cabinet. He's like, there's just one more thing we need, and he'll open a cabinet, grab this glass jar with kind of like dark gooey liquid in it, and he'll say, "This came from one of my happy trees," and he'll put it down on the table, and it's some syrup, or syrup if you're from a region that pronounces it incorrectly. And...
Well done. Val's eyes go big. It's just like this would be the Canada of wild melt. So I'm so into this breakfast right now.
As he'll just say, you're all looking well, a lot better than you looked yesterday. So hopefully you got some rest and enjoy breakfast. Help yourself. And he's gonna grab some. He'll also say to you, would anyone like some coffee?
Yes,
You have
please.
coffee. Yes.
Presumably, that's a very uncommon thing.
It's fairly uncommon, yeah.
Especially for us recently, but even, yeah.
Yeah, I'd say coffee would be probably more of a... In cities, it would probably be more of like a luxury. Like tea would definitely be more common. Just easier in every aspect. But he has a stash. So.
Oh, and you're going to spoil us. Thank you.
Well, everyone deserves to be spoiled every now and then, and it sounds like you've been through a lot. So.
Like you see, you anyone watching Vale visibly sees like just tension in his shoulders, just kind of just relax a little bit as he just sits back.
So, as you guys are serving yourselves, he'll pull out a little container with these beans that have like a light brown color to them, and he's gonna just take some and throw it in another container and then pop a little top on there that has a little twisty little knob, and he'll just start just grinding the beans, heating some water up on a pot as that's happening. And as he finishes up right as the pot of water starts to whistle, he'll take the pot off, set it down, and he'll take this beautiful looking glass container, put it down with a little paper filter in there. He'll wet the filter, pour out the water, he'll throw the grinds on top, and after that boiling pot of water has sat for a little bit, he'll take it, and you'll see him just start to pour this hot water over these grinded coffee beans. And while he's doing that, you all are free to talk about whatever you'd like to talk about, or just enjoy the food.
As Melly's making her plate, she puts a waffle on it, and then she puts 2 little eyes made out of bacon, and then does a little syrup smile,
Yes.
and then she eats it all.
Belle tries one of everything.
Matt gets his waffles, and he fills up every single square with syrup.
Yes. I love that.
And eats them.
I feel like because of what we've gone through, I feel like once the food hits the plate and we're eating, I feel like I just have a one-track mind for Val at that point.
Just that it's feast time.
It's just, yeah, like what we've gone through. Like the last time we sat down at like a real meal was the Tabaxi time, but then also, I guess would have been in Shady Creek Run. So
Yeah, and even the Tabaxi time too. Like it wasn't just like a regular meal. There was so much stress and like anxiety involved in that, and someone died at that dinner.
it's true. Yes.
So yeah, I guess did Echo have anything he wanted to add to that before I continue on?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Just gets himself some food and is enjoying it thoroughly.
So after a couple minutes, and while you guys are starting to work on your plates, there's this glorious smell of coffee, and you'll take this little glass container and just kind of swirl it around, and you'll see some of the bubbles just start to form in this light brown liquid, and he'll pour you each a mug, and they're these nice like wooden hand carved mugs, and he'll give you each a mug and sit down with you. And as he sits down, like he gets this look on his face of like just like how could he forget this? And he'll say, "Give me one moment. I have one more thing I think you might like." And he'll come back with some cream, some whipped cream, and say, "Now I don't always indulge like this, but what's life without a little sweetness?" And he'll put a little whipped cream on a waffle and just put the thing in the middle of the container, and anyone else who wants to have some of that can have some of that.
Yeah.
I think Echo smells the coffee and looks a little. I don't think he's ever had it, but he smells it and he's like, "Okay," and he takes a sip and cannot help the face that he makes at the taste of it on its own with nothing in it. He does not enjoy it whatsoever. But he is trying his best to be polite. So there's a moment, just a flash of like, just And then he just that's that's quite, it's good.
Go. You should try this. And Vale reaches for the whipped cream. And Vale puts a little bit in his, but it just says this. A lot of people will use some cream in their coffee.
Oh, okay. Right, yes, I know. So you just put it right in there, and then you drink it again.
And he
It
takes
says
a
maybe
sip.
a little bit more.
Yes, I think so.
And he'll put some in there and just kind of stir it up. And then, like, as he lifts it up, just kind of like stare a quick dagger at Vale, and then
Vale
take a
winks.
sip. Then take a sip.
Add some syrup.
I feel like I'm destroying something beautiful here.
And he'll do that actually. Yeah, he'll grab a little syrup and put it in there, and I think look at Owen with the face of apology, and put a little bit of syrup in there and stir it up, and then try it again.
He just gives you a smile and a nod as he takes a sip of his black coffee.
So he takes a sip, and this time I think he enjoys it. The maple kind of mixes with the the darker roasted flavors of the coffee, and it hits him in a way that he wasn't expecting. And yeah, you can see that he's finally kind of settling into it and enjoying the hot drink, and yeah, kind of settles in.
So, Owen, this is quite a treat. We'll forever be grateful for what you've done for us here.
Well, a friend of Rain is a friend of mine, like I said before. So I'm just happy we crossed paths. You all seemed like you needed a good night's rest. And, well,
Yes. You certainly did. You have a beautiful lake out here. A very, very nice view.
thank you. Yes, I've I spent a lot of time trying to find a nice place to settle down and find some peace. And I'm just glad that I was able to make this place my home and give back a little bit.
Are you from a city or a town near here? Or have you... I don't mean to pry.
Where is he from?
This is one of those questions I think maybe he didn't.
That's one of the few things that I don't have written, you son of a gun.
Sorry. It just seemed like such a regular conversation question.
It's the
It's
normal
always
question.
the one.
Yep.
There will always be that question for what you did not prepare.
100%. 100%.
Oh boy. Just give you one moment.
Like, I'm sure he prepared for all off the wall questions that we tend to ask. And then boom.
I should say this. Does he have an accent that might betray where he's from a little bit?
Roll an insight check.
Okay. That's a
But
17.
Use intelligence.
Okay. Okay, so I'm adding 2 to that, so 19.
19?
Mhm.
Yeah, he it definitely I'll tell you this, it definitely doesn't sound like he's from is it eastern Wandir? That area. It doesn't sound like he's from the area which you are currently in.
Okay.
And he'll just respond to you. You asked him if he's from the city close to here, and he'll say, Well, no, I actually I traveled quite some distance trying to find peace and find a place to rest. But I'm glad I found the place I found and made the friends I've made along the way.
Indeed. My brother didn't happen to say where he was headed, did he?
Well, I don't really ask them exactly where they're going.
Fair enough.
Just wish them well along the way, and I do know that they like to make their trips every now and then down to the ruins and see what they could find along the way. And
That's what I would have figured. And how long ago? You said it was 2 weeks ago?
about 2 weeks ago, yeah, yes, sir.
Oh, and you also mentioned you have access to a boat or something of that sort?
Why, yes, I do. Well, yeah. I mean, I like to do my woodworking every now and then. So I have a few watercrafts.
Vale just realizes that it's obvious what he would be asking and thinking, but then also starts to feel like maybe he's being rude because he just got fed and all this stuff. So he kind of just like looks at his empty plate and he's like, "Well, I think let me put this away." He gets up and kind of takes his plate and just walks over to the kitchen trying to find where he can put a dirty dish.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, you find like there is a little like wash area that he has set up, and if you wanted to put it there, if you wanted to clean it off, you'd be able to do so fairly easily. There's some rags.
Yeah, I think he would just start washing it.
All right, and he just gives you a thankful and respectful nod as he sees what you're about to go do, and as you start washing it, and he'll kind of meet eyes with Melly, and he'll say, "Well, you seem to be doing a lot better this morning. Was some rest what you needed?"
It was exactly what I needed. Just having a space where I felt cozy and almost like being at home. This is probably the longest I've been away from my family before. We've traveled a very long way, so thank you so much for letting us stay here.
Of course. You can stay as long as you like.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Melly's gonna get up and help clear the table and dry as Vale washes the dishes.
Mac would also help clear the table.
Yeah, he will just say a quick thank you to all of you, and say, well, now I don't need all of you to be waiting on me, but I appreciate the help. It's, you're a group of very nice young individuals.
Vale smiles when he says young to him. Thank you, Owen. Well, I guess we should probably discuss where we're headed. From here, I think it would make sense to use a watercraft. If that's something, he just kind of makes this like wince face as he's looking at Owen. I feel weird asking because you've been so nice to us already. Do you have something that you lend out, or?
Absolutely. If you need if what you need is a watercraft, I could absolutely let you take one of mine on loan. How soon are you expecting to be heading out?
Vale just tries to make eye contact with the three of you at that point.
Go ahead.
I think we could take a moment here, and don't want to overstay our welcome either.
Well, I mean, especially if you're going to be making a trip on water, I think it'd be best if you at least wait a day or two for some of this snow and ice to melt. And I'd love for you to spend the Barren Eve with me. Today is you asked me what day it was yesterday. Today is the 1st of Duskar. So roll. Let's see. Dandelions and the Kern. I think everybody would know that. But so the Barren Eve is winter's longest night. It is the 2nd of Duskar, and it's a day of mourning for all those lost in war. Come victory or ruin in the war between the Dandelions and the Kern, countless candles will be lit on Barren Eve. It's just a day of remembrance.
I had no idea it was today.
That's today is the 1st.
But I'm sorry, I had no idea that was tomorrow. Well then, yes, I think maybe we should. I was just like looking at the three of you, feeling like someone else talk.
Well, with how time is, I don't think one more day is gonna hurt at this point.
So much of it has already passed, so one more night in all of this comfort, I definitely think would be a good idea. So if you don't mind having us, we're very thankful to be able to stay.
I don't mind having you at all. It'll be nice to have some company around here. You just let me know how involved you'd like to be. I do have my own way of celebrating, as most do. So
Sure. I'd love to show Melly, you and Echo. You've got to see the lake. It's very pretty.
Certainly.
I could finish up in here, and if you all would like to go enjoy some time by the lake, and anything else you need, you just let me know.
Thank you, sir. The same goes for you. If there's anything we can do.
Mm-hmm.
Just seeing the faces of some good friends and good people. It's been very nice.
Echo smiles and bows deeply.
He'll return your bow. And his hair, his fro kind of like bounces as he pops back up.
I love that.
So, which direction is the lake?
If you just go right out the front door that you came in from and follow the path around, you'll see it. Vale, might I have a quick word with you?
Yes, of course. Maybe I'll meet the three of you.
As we start walking, I do want to pull Melly aside for just a half a second, but I don't know if you want to do your thing first or.
You could do your thing first.
Okay. Melly, do you happen to have the bag of holding? I'd like to get my item back, if all possible.
Yes, of course. I don't have it on me right now. It's upstairs in the room. I didn't think we would need it right away, but I can run up and grab it. We might find something interesting at the lake that we want to put in. So
That's true.
I'll be right back. Smelly will go back in. Excuse me, sorry. Run upstairs, grab the bag of holding, come downstairs, go back inside. Here.
Are you handing me the item or are you handing me the bag?
I'm just gonna hold it out open to you.
Oh, okay. When I reach into the bag of holding, I'm going to try to pull out the nuke and my spoon. And I would like to try to stealthily take the nuke out.
Roll a sleight of hand, I think.
That is a 19.
Melly, what's your passive perception?
11.
Yeah, Mac, you.
I mean, I'm standing right there staring at him. I'm literally, my eyeballs are glued to him. I'm not like, he's not like, give me some
All right,
privacy.
Roll a perception check.
Okay, I'm terrible at those. Oh man, it was perception, right?
It was perception.
Right? Perception. Okay, it's an unnatural 20. Unnatural 19 plus 1, 20.
Oh!
Those are the ducky dice, baby.
All right.
Oh my gosh! Things are happening, people.
Okay. So as you so Mac reaches his hand into the bag, and when you see him pull his hand out of the bag, he has the spoon in his hand, and he also has something else in his hand. It's like a small box. He moved it quick, so I'd say I mean, I don't know how many small boxes are in the bag of holding. So
I think that would be probably one.
Probably the only one. But you saw him take two things out of the bag of holding and not just one.
So
Where Melly would go with that is where Melly would go with that. But it's not like there was like a purple glow or anything obvious, but you saw him take two things out. It was not just the spoon.
So Melly did tie a piece of cloth around it because she was nervous about it opening.
You did. So you see a cloth in the spoon as he pulls that out.
Mac, what What are you doing?
We need to take a better look at this and see what's going on with it.
Well, why don't we wait until we're all together and we're not right next to Owen's cabin?
I slide it back into the bag of holding.
Melly will
Okay.
remember that.
Woo.
Are you not
Alright.
comfortable with me holding it?
No, it's just that I feel like that we're just ignoring it, and I feel like it needs to be brought to the forefront. And not just with other people trying to figure it out.
I agree 100%. I just think there's a time and a place, and well, obviously I think the sooner we can figure it out, the better. I definitely don't think that this is the proper place for it.
At this point, I almost don't know if there is a proper or not proper place. I mean, if Owen was out here with us, I feel like it would be a little bit different, but it is just us at the moment. And Vale should be coming along here shortly. And I figured with the four of us that now would be a good time.
Well, why don't we at least wait till we get down to the lake?
Was all that in front of Echo, by the way?
I mean, Echo
That-
was going out with them. I don't know.
It depends on if he stopped, because I do feel like we probably would have been a hair behind him, because we would have had to, Melly would have had to go back to get the bag. So I don't know if
That's
he
a
would
fair
have kept
point.
going
Echo,
or not.
Echo probably would have kept going.
Okay.
You know, once they stopped, it was like, oh, I just want to get my thing out of the bag. Echo would have been like, you know, I'll see you guys down there.
Okay.
Probably skipping rocks.
Nice. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt that. I just wanted to make sure if he was there, he had a moment to do something.
So as we're walking, Melly's just gonna say to Mac, you know, you don't have to be sneaky about it if you want to see it.
That's my own fault, and I'm sorry.
It's okay. I know that there's some weird things that have happened, and I hope you know that I trust you.
With all the things that have happened to me and to get to this point here, it's hard for me to shake off that side and to fully trust people with things of that importance. It's hard for me not to have control of things in my own hands, and I struggle with that. And as you can see, I wish I could say this was the only time I've made decisions to try to bring something to the forefront.
Well, I know that, at least for the time that I've known you, every decision you've made, whether I've agreed with it or not, has been for the best of the group. So, here, why don't you take the bag of holding, for now at least?
It's probably better if you had it.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, if there's someone that has a chance of containing or doing anything with that kind of a power that's in there, realistically, is you.
Well, we know so little about it. Maybe it's more alchemical in nature and more suited for someone who knows poisons and things of that nature.
Possibly. Thank you for talking with me.
I have to say, it's been an experience growing into all of our friendship. So you don't have to thank me. I enjoy getting to be with all of you.
Same. I don't know where I would be without all of you. And you've brought me back from the brink more times than than I can count. I see me kind of like going through fingers for half a second.
Well, I've never brought anyone back from the brink as many times.
Well, hopefully we can reverse that trend. And I would think at this point we're probably getting pretty close to the lake, or like right upon the lake.
Yeah, I'd say at that point you meet Echo on the dock. Or at the foot of the lake. That's, I mean, wherever he would be.
Probably he would have when he got down there, he would have stood, on the dock for a minute or so, and then probably would have walked over to the foot of the lake, looked for some smooth stones, and started skipping them.
Nice. How roll a dex check for me
Okay. Let's see.
with proficiency.
With proficiency? 21.
Yeah, I mean, and roll me a d6.
5.
Yeah, you find this one nice smooth stone and you skip it, and it actually it bounces 9 times and gets really far across that lake.
Oh, hello, you two.
That was very impressive.
Oh, I don't know. Just transferable skills, I guess. But hope you two took a while to get down. Everything all right? And where's Vale?
Yeah, I just took me a while to get the bag of holding because I didn't want to disturb Vale and Owen. I feel like he should be along shortly.
Let's pop back to Vale and Owen.
I wonder what they're doing.
Amazing that the picture changed to Vale as we did the.
It's almost like I have scenes prepared for that.
Mm.
We're ruining the magic.
I'm sorry.
Vale, how are you doing today? He's like looking straight into you, like, as he says this.
Yeah.
It seems
I'm
like
happy to be here.
from what I've observed, it seems like you take a lot of responsibility for these group of friends here, and you put a lot of pressure on yourself as to taking care of them. I know after everything that you all have told me that you've been through, that's probably a lot of weight to carry on your shoulders.
Vale just nods. Yes, that's let's just say when it comes to responsibility, at least for my friend's safety, I try to take more than my fair share.
That's very admirable.
Might not always be good though.
Well, I would tend to agree with you there. Everyone in your group is an adult, and even though it seems like you might feel like they're following you, they're all making their own decisions. They all have the choice everyone has a choice.
That's true. Some choices should not be made for them.
Vale, yesterday you asked me about a bow. What would you do if I gave you a bow? What would you use it for?
Well, as you obviously can tell, I would protect my friends first and foremost. What I really want to understand is what happened to my people at Malaya's Mere. It's obviously why we were there in the first place, but primarily speaking, it would be to protect myself and my friends.
If those two goals...
Just going to say, I don't know if I have anything more grand to say than that.
If those two goals ever collided, what would you do?
I would step in the way of whatever was coming. And I would protect my friends.
He hasn't broken eye contact this entire time. And
yeah, did that question feel like extra loaded for some reason? Like, do I feel like he's asking more than just about making the bow, or is there like am I getting this vibe from him, or?
I don't know if you would get a vibe that it's like more than making a bow, but it's definitely, there's a lot of weight to the question that he's asking you, and he's not saying that as if he knows something like those paths are gonna collide. Like, he's just really trying to understand you and where you're coming from. He's gonna ask you, would you ever use such a weapon against innocent people?
I have no desire to kill or harm anyone, innocent or otherwise.
I believe you.
If you'd like to... Thank you, Owen.
You're a good man, Vale. A good elf.
Sometimes.
Being good doesn't mean that every decision you make is perfect. It means you've got good intentions, and you're gonna do whatever it takes to make things right, whatever that means. Come find me after.
Okay.
Come find me after you spend your time at the lake. He'll give you a nod and he'll pat you on the shoulder.
He'll just nod and take it. And then if it feels like it's appropriate for him to walk away and head to the lake, he will do so.
Yeah, he'll turn and kind of walk away and do his thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought he'd be back by now. And the door opens.
Vale will head over to where they have gathered. He's just like looking at the lake. His eyes seem far off, like very far off at the moment. But I wanted to talk to all of you about something. It's not a comfortable conversation for me. But I think before I really go into something, I want to explain Have any of you ever done something that you are not necessarily particularly proud of, but you would do it again in the same situation?
So, a bad thing for a good reason.
Yes. That's certainly one way to look at it.
Echo's brow lowers a bit, and I think he instinctively, like, his shoulders kind of raise a bit, and he starts stepping slowly to put himself between you and Melly. Don't know why he does that, but that's what he does.
Well, when been avoiding saying something out of fear. Particularly, and he gestures to you, Echo, and to you, Melly. I don't... When we were in Malaeusmere, and we had just fought the Basilisk, and Vale's eyes meet Melly's, and he goes, and you looked at that creature, and I just looked all around, and I felt like the entire weight of the city was on top of me. To protect us all, and to, I don't know, be some kind of superhero of legend, I think. I don't know. But that evening, while you were all asleep, I made a deal. You may have noticed that my magic is a little different. And he just... minor illusions, an arrow, just like his picture shows on the page there. I know some magic that I don't remember studying.
Who did you make a deal with?
I think we've been all referring to him as Spooky Johnson. I thought that we were facing so many threats that I would take another potential threat and make him an ally. And in so doing, could have more magic or more power to protect you all. And it has grown a little bit, and particularly when we were fighting that. Actually, those creatures are called Kruthiks. Those hive wormy creatures. We felt his help a lot, actually, in that fight. Also, I did have a dream that he's the one who told me that there would be a way out in that pool of water. And I didn't think you would understand, and I didn't think you would trust me, but I knew it would get us out of there. What I didn't know is that it would cost us time. And I have to admit, Vale's he's got like adrenaline, so like his he looks nervous. I just felt like I couldn't tell you because you wouldn't understand, and you would look at me like you're looking at me right now, Echo. I'm still me. His head just kind of, his eyes just sink a little bit.
Did you know?
Echo turns his head to Mac.
No.
Okay. Vale, we're all here for each other. I appreciate you wanting to protect us, but I think you need to trust us a little more too.
I think you're right.
And I appreciate your motives for wanting to keep us safe.
Yep.
Can I just get a deception check from Mac?
Don't make me roll. My rolls have been terrible. It's a 16.
So, Echo, do you or Evan, do you think that Echo would be very skeptical of Mac about like an answer in general, or do you think he, like to the point where he would be expecting a lie and really trying to do like an insight type thing, or do you think that you guys have built up enough trust together that if he tells you that, and with what he just rolled, I think that's like, unless you're looking for a lie.
I think, I don't know. I would say he wouldn't have been looking for a lie.
Okay.
And he's not necessarily like, I'll say that he's making direct eye contact with Mac when he asks him this question. He's just looking him right in the face and just, is this what's happening? Like, so I think an insight check would be relevant here, or however it is that you want to, I'll say he wouldn't be 100% just believing whatever thing Mac told him. If he saw, something obvious enough that it was like he's trying to hide something, then yeah.
All right, then roll an insight check.
All right.
And with the trust that Mac and Echo have built up, do you think it would be fair to give Mac advantage on his deception check?
I think so. I think that's a fair way to run it.
So you could roll an insight check, and Michael, you could roll again to see if you roll better.
I did not roll better.
Okay.
That's fine because Echo trusts. Echo believes what you said. I only got a 9.
Okay. All right. So continue on. Sorry, I didn't want to skip over that.
Sure. I felt like I was making decisions for you. And I think I'm not used to working with a team like this, much less caring about them as much as I do. And I felt like I would take a leap of faith as you have taken a leap of faith in me. Whether or not that's deserved, or how we all want to go from here. Vale's eyes just look at Melly. He's got a sad smirk.
Melly is staring at your feet. She's not making eye contact right now.
Well,
I have a.
it's a lot, I know. You were saying, Mac?
You said that you made a deal. And apparently you've gotten some things out of it. What's the other side of the deal?
I don't fully know. I just suspect at some point he's going to want to call in a favor, I think, maybe? Or come to collect of some kind. I do get the sense that he needs me for something. But he kind of looks over at Mac and just shrugs. I've always looked at some deals as a kind of a fluid thing anyways. Whether or not... Well, I think we all know he will not look at it that way. But
Well, Vale. I just hope that you know. We're still here for you as well. And as much as I would like to be mad at you right now, I can't. And I don't know. Just be careful. Because I know when it comes to helping other people, the more that you lose of yourself or give of yourself, the less you have to give to others. So, cutting off your nose to spite your face, or, going to make a deal so that you can help other people when it's just going to hurt you as well. I'm just worried about you, that's all.
it's something I've just think I'm maybe starting to understand a little more. How old are you, Echo?
Let me read my character sheet. Because I don't remember. I believe I'm 25.
Hold on.
Hold.
28.
28.
He just shakes his head. To have that wisdom at that age. We've lived a different life, you and I. And I thought for some reason I could, shelter you or something. As if I could protect you from life itself. He looks at Melly, too. Silly, isn't it?
I understand. And I know that Echo and I'm assuming Mac are both not mad at you right now, but I am a little mad.
You've every right to be.
We came here to Melasmere to try and solve or figure out or learn about corruption, and it seems as though you've welcomed it in. And I understand that it's made you stronger, but at what cost? You don't know. And I am thankful that you're stronger because I know you want to be stronger to protect us, and then you can also be stronger to protect yourself, but you have no idea of what you could be giving up. And maybe it's selfish of me to say, but I don't want to lose any of you. I know that we were in a very awful spot, and I don't know what else we could have done. It just makes my heart heavy to know that you felt you had to make that choice.
See Vale rub his eyes a little bit. You think he might have welled up a little as you were talking to him. Oh. I don't think I was... I don't think I knew what to expect from this conversation. It's a lot to take in. And everything you have said is right, and I think you have every right to be angry with me. Wish I had more to go on as far as like an explanation or something. I think it's rather simple. I was feeling pressure to protect you all, and I did something foolish.
Well, it was foolish, but I don't know if it was a decision that any of us would have made differently if we were in the same position. I can't say if I was feeling exactly how you were feeling that I wouldn't have done the same thing. So, I do understand.
Well, I can say I was not expecting that. I was prepared to offer leaving if that's what you all wanted. As if
Vale,
I was...
are you crazy? Maybe you didn't hear the conversation back in the cave, but we're not splitting up like that. We're not separating. What we have here and figuring out what this is and whether it's keeping it away from people or turn it into something good, whatever the case may be, this is something that we all have to take on and handle.
Yes, I am. I understand, and yes, you're right. I just think I built this moment up in my head so much that I don't know. He just shrugs. But, if any of you have any questions about this, for me, I will be as open and honest as I know. But I also think maybe letting it breathe a little bit can help as well.
Can you let us know anytime that he reaches out to you?
Yes, I can. You have my word.
And I know when we started out we weren't the strongest bunch. Well, at least I wasn't the strongest. But maybe have a little bit more faith in all of us.
You see Mac kind of look at the ground when you say that.
Subtweeted.
I hope that you all can see that bringing this to you is a gesture of that faith that I have in you, because, quite frankly, I was terrified of this moment.
You should have been. But, I think we all wish it was a bit sooner. But at least you said something.
Better you hear it from me, too, than some other circumstance or whatever, what have you.
To be honest, I had my suspicions.
I know.
What if he wants that? What happens then?
Then I run far, far away and don't give it to him.
Well, I suppose we should figure out what we're going to do next regardless.
I think so.
And not only that, but I think we may also need to possibly talk about more of what we're going to do when we're actually there. Because in those moments, we're not going to have the opportunity necessarily to talk over what we want to do. If we're going to actually let someone else see it, know that we have it, you know. I mean, obviously, if we're going to Vice's Teal, it would hopefully be to see some people that you trust, Echo. Which does make me feel a little bit better, but
I do trust Master Dinoa very much. And if there's a group that can mostly stay unnoticed and have a lot of knowledge behind them, it would be them.
I thought that the plan was to go to Uthadern first.
I don't think that would be wise in this situation. I think any questions we ask is going to either, say, put my family in an awkward position, or the government there would know whether it was a hypothetical question or not. think that just puts a big target, or whatever you want to call it, on all of us. So
And could also possibly alert Freeman or whoever's behind Freeman that we're still alive.
that's a very good point. He did say my full name, and he made his way through Shady Creek Run, so I think there's a good... At the very least, I think we know he knows more about me than probably any of the three of you. But that's just an educated guess.
I'm sorry. I just remembered. I found a scroll. I can use it to send a message to someone. But I wanted to talk to all of you. I am not so much worried about my family anymore. I just know that they're okay. I know, Vale, that you were worried about your family, and Mac and Echo, I don't know if there's someone that you would have wanted to reach out to, but it only works once. Unless, Vale, you could maybe teach me how to use it more than once, or you could learn how to use it. But who should we reach out to now that we have this resource?
Josh, is this something that Vale would be able to teach Melly?
It's a scroll, so it's like a one-time use. Like, read it and it just and it happens. I think both of you would probably know that. I mean, maybe I guess Melly hasn't had as much experience with that kind of thing. But you would definitely know that it's not really something. It's not like a spell book where you could read it and learn it, and it's something that you're going to use multiple times. It's more like the way it's written. You read the words off the page, and it does its thing.
Yeah, I didn't know if you were gonna kind of bend the rules for sorcerers learning spells through a scroll like a wizard can or not, so I figured I'd ask.
I actually didn't even realize wizards could learn a spell from a spell scroll. So, but no, that was not.
Okay.
It's also like it's like a pocket scroll too. It's not like a. It's like a. He put it in her hand, and it is.
Sure.
It's like a post-it sized scroll. It's cute.
Oh, I suspect my brother did go towards Malaesmere, and if we do take the river, we will go right past it. It's possible we run into him. But I cannot think of an immediate person that we should talk to. Unless we were just to check in with somebody's family.
There's no one that I would check in with currently that would be of any real use to waste something so valuable.
Same to me.
Oh. I really hope my family doesn't think I'm dead.
I was just having the same thought about...
About your family?
Yes, I think it's possible, but it's not like I would go without seeing them for months at a time, here and there, but... I think you should contact your sister. We left rather abruptly, and it's been months.
I think I need a little bit of time to think about it.
Sure.
She is, she's a smart young lass, so I'm certain that she probably made it back along the trade route okay.
For what it's worth, Carl is supposed to help her.
Well, that does make me feel better.
He's just a bit of a knucklehead sometimes, but
Well, I'm just glad that he agreed to sell some of the plum wine.
Hmm.
I think for now, let's hold on to it. I don't want to use it out of impulse. I want to use it when we know for sure that it's the right time.
I see nothing wrong with that right now.
Okay, so we're going to borrow a ship, a water vessel, and go to Biestiel.
I say it's teal.
By Biestiel.
There you go.
Yes, I guess once some of this ice breaks up a little.
Would the 3 of you be okay with us looking at the box? Maybe see if we can tell anything about it from having it out in the daylight?
You know I'm always curious, so...
Suppose we've put it off for long enough.
I think we should, and I feel like we're in as safe as place as we can be.
Well, I hope it doesn't explode and kill us all. I was gonna open up the bag of holding and carefully take the box out. She'll start very carefully unwrapping the fabric that she put around it. So, should we inspect the box first to see
Sorry about that.
if there's anything there's any language or inscription or any design that looks familiar?
And as a matter of fact, isn't that something that you picked up, Vale?
Actually, yes, that is something that I'm able to learn how to read languages that I don't know.
If there is any writing, we may actually be able to get something off of it.
Melly will very carefully hand the box to Vale.
Feels like,
How carefully do you do it?
100% careful.
Roll a dex save. No, I'm just kidding.
I feel like it's that moment in the cartoons where like you watch the person push the button and then the entire world explodes.
Yeah, it zooms out and you just see the. Yeah. So you hand Vale this stone small box. It's actually not much larger than this.
Altoids.
This can this not unnamed brand of.
I was gonna say this item
breath mint.
too is curiously strong.
Well done. Yeah. yeah, so this episode of Ancient Relics and Hokey Religions is brought to you by Altoids, the original, celebrated, curiously strong mint.
This part is getting cut out of all of the videos and podcast versions of this episode.
I'm just gonna keep it going then. If you didn't know, Altoids, they only have a couple ingredients:
Oh my
sugar.
gosh. Oh man.
All right.
So yes. Say Vale very carefully takes the box and tries to remove the cloth and or any extra things that were there before we got it.
Extra things that were there before you got it.
I thought Melly
Wait.
said that she did rope around. I thought she was like.
Oh yeah, she tied the cloth to it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So you remove the cloth and it's this smooth and well crafted stone container.
Okay. And there's no writing on it, or
no, there appears to be no writing on it. It's just this smooth and dark, but almost like it's not like it's just a black stone. It's like dark, but it also just has these just waves of just different shades of lines of gray that are running through it, and there's like a slight purple hue coming off of it as well.
Yeah, it just says I'm going to open it now. And he carefully opens the box.
Sure. Yeah, as you open the box, this purple light just kind of shines out of it, and the birds in the tree closest to you just kind of like all move, almost reacting to the light that is coming from it. And as you kind of look into it, you see this glass type material vial with this purple. It's almost like it's a liquid, but it's almost like it's a gas, and it's just dancing around inside its glass case, prison, home.
And you said that this was reminiscent of what I saw in the music box, right?
Yes.
I don't know if I said this like I did the first time we opened this up, but this looks exactly like the color and what I saw in the music box when I saw the destruction event. And is there any writing of any kind? Does it come with an instruction book or anything like that?
It does not come with an instruction manual.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it is just the stone case, and sitting right inside of it is the vial of stuff.
Outside of opening it, I don't really know what else we could learn. And I'm not doing that. To be clear. Just kind of holds it so that anyone could look at it if they want.
Well, we seem to have a lot of luck with just touching things. Melly's just gonna slowly reach her finger and put it on the side of the vial.
On the side of the vial?
Ooh.
Yep. Just
Okay.
Make a Constitution save. No, I'm just kidding.
Well,
For half the world.
yeah, 100 children just died somewhere. In the continent.
Thanks, Melly.
is this our
What was that?
I was gonna say is this our total party kill moment?
We'll find out next week. No, I'm just kidding. So as you put your hand on the side,
No,
of it, I mean,
just a single finger.
yeah, it's well. I was gonna say too, like your whole hand. It's a small vial. Your whole hand doesn't even really fit on it. But as you touch it with your finger, everyone else sees that this purple substance that has just been dancing around just goes right to the finger, right to where you put your finger. Similar to the way that the floor was doing in the labyrinth.
Mm-hmm.
And as that happens, Melly, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh boy.
Yep, that sounds about right.
It
All
was a
right.
joke. It was a joke.
Okay, that was pretty terrible, but that's okay because Melly's got a good constitution.
You also have favored by the gods?
Yep. Okay, so this is a Constitution saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 16.
16?
Yeah.
Oh no.
What is favorite of the gods do? You add a d4 to it if it fails?
Hold on, let me read my little.
Oh yes. I think it's if you fail, you can roll 2d4.
Yeah, to add to it. Yeah,
So
once per short rest, if you fail a saving throw or miss with an attack roll, you can roll 2d4 and add it to the total, possibly changing the outcome. So I get to know if I failed.
Okay. You failed. So
Okay.
before anything happens, why don't you roll your 2d4?
Okay.
Oh.
It'd be really funny if Melly just disintegrated. Oh no, I
Yeah, funny.
didn't
No.
roll.
Not
Sorry.
funny.
No.
My die fell all the way over there, but I
Don't
could
say
see
that
what
word.
it is. I could see what it is. So here we go. I'm gonna try and actually keep this one in the box. Okay, nice. What did I say? What did I say I got? I forgot now.
16.
16.
I got a 24.
You're 24?
Total. Right?
You
Yes.
added 8, yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Do I still fail? I would be.
You don't fail. But you as you put your hand on this thing and all of the light just kind of goes to your finger, you actually see like out of Melly's eyes and out of her like mouth and like pores, just it like this purple light just like kind of like shines through, and you're well, yeah, that was would as soon as Vale sees that, he tries to pull
immediately
away.
pull back and close the box. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So as that happens, Melly, you kind of get you get thrown backwards,
Oh god.
fall down on the ground prone. And you seem to be okay.
How do I feel? Like, does it feel like I had like a. Like, does it feel like I got like electrocuted or like I had pneumonia for 3 months but then came out of it really quick? What is.
It feels as if like you just had the craziest caffeine high Your pulse is like racing. You're starting to sweat even though it's so cold outside already. And everything just kind of looks like blurry for a second to you. And you almost feel like tired a little bit, and then it all just starts to fade, and you feel somewhat normal.
Val would run to her, however far back she.
About 15 feet.
Yeah. I feel like actually he shuts the thing and sees her do that, and like he runs over to her and he puts the box down. It seems slightly careless. Slightly, just a little, like, just kind of toss it to the side slightly and put his hand under her head, like, really.
Your ears are ringing.
It's okay.
Shh. Everything kind of just sounds wobbly. I'm just gonna lay here for a second. No one else touch it.
Right. Box is just on the ground.
Down. Echo's bent down with his hands about to grab the box, like frozen in place as Melly says that.
Yes.
Once Melly gets her bearings, she'll sit up. She's not standing up right now.
Okay.
Oh, Echo, you can pick up the box. I just meant the.
Oh, right, right.
Well, I wouldn't recommend touching it. And I don't think we actually learned that much, except that it's very unpleasant. And if we were to open it, I think we would all die.
Yes, that was with it closed.
We need to learn
Closed
more
and
about this.
Closed and contained and still that powerful.
Has Echo ever shared his faith, or at least where his faith is rooted?
He's all he's really mentioned. He has mentioned that he follows the teachings of Ioun. Actually, you know what? I don't know if he's really talked about that.
I know you had that scene in the dungeon, but you were by yourself, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, you've heard him say. I know in dangerous situations, he said stuff like, "Oh, knowing Mother Ioun, keep me safe as I don't lose my fingers," and stuff like that.
That might not be a big leap for Vale to kind of.
Probably would have picked up that Ioun, like that his whole thing is about gathering knowledge and yeah, like that's the main crux of it is gathering knowledge and trying to preserve it.
Okay. This actually makes me feel even better about heading to Bysaeus Teal. I think that's a lot right there. And if your teachers are half as wise as you, Echo, I think that's the right place to go.
I'd hope they're a lot more wise than me. But I agree. I think if someone can help us, if anyone would know something about this and be a safe person to ask, it would be Master Dinoa.
But also, it kind of seems like you were meant to find it.
I've been thinking about that a lot. Like I said previously, when we met up, I was sent to find something important, and I think we may have found it.
I thought it was going to be something abstract like confidence or friendship.
It's exactly what I was thinking. Oh gods. Hopefully they'll be happy with a death device.
Well, I think we can all agree it's better that we have it or they have it than Freeman or the Empire has it.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think
So our
that would
decision-
especially.
Sorry.
I think that would especially hit close to home, like really thinking about that, because one of the religion that you practice and that your order practices is outlawed in the Dwendalian Empire. But
So I suppose our decision is made then. We make our way to Bysay's Teal as quickly as we can. Try to get some information.
Just had an idea about that scroll. It certainly is going to take a little bit to get there. Could we give them something to study in preparation for our arrival? Or is that dangerous to alert someone to what we have?
How it's not a long message, is it?
It's only 25 words.
So it's like what I can do with this copper wire, but much better.
I'm not sure what we can. I could hardly explain what we just saw in 25 words.
Maybe you could
would
just
feel-
ask them to study Malaismere. Or something maybe a little generic. Just a thought. Figured I'd mention it.
Well, I would hate to take something from. We only have the one.
You're right.
Do you
Well-
mean take something from me?
Well, yes. It's like you said, your family may not even know if you're alive. And to be frank, the two things that we do as followers of Ayun is gather knowledge and preserve it. So I wouldn't be worried that well, if they have it, they have it. And if they don't, then they don't.
Well, let's sleep on it and think about it. I didn't use it right away because I wanted to make sure that we used it for the best possible purpose. So if we all are in agreement that the best thing would be to contact those who could research ahead of time, I am okay with that. But we can think about it first.
That's very selfless. It would be a pretty big sacrifice. But you're right. Let's give it some thought.
Maybe we can help Owen prepare and take our mind off of things for a couple of days. We
Agreed.
can help around the house or something. I don't know. He seems to have everything under control. But it's cold outside anyways. We should warm up by the fire.
I don't know, it feels a little hot to me.
Are you all right?
Have you ever been kicked by a cow?
Cannot say that I have.
It feels a little bit like that, along with eating a lot of sweet.
I would like to touch the bottle.
I think you
I would
have it
like
in
to
your
touch
hands. I was gonna say.
He just sort of shakes his head and turns toward the house.
Echo,
Yes.
just looking. Vale just makes poignant eye contact with all three of you. Thank you for listening.
Echo just nods, but his expression doesn't really change from semi-serious.
Mhm.
Mac nods also.
We're always here to listen.
Indeed.
My parents always say the most important part of any relationship, whether it be between, a husband and a wife, or siblings or friends, is communication. I'm gonna wrap the box up, because if this gets out and I accidentally touch it again, I'm gonna be very sad.
Echo holds it up.
I'm gonna wrap it up again, tie it a little tighter than she did last time, stick it back in the bag of holding.
You guys gonna make your way back to the back inside?
I think so.
Yeah.
Who's leading the way?
Sounded like Echo, I guess.
Yeah, I think so.
Millie, make another Constitution check. Save.
Another one?
Another one.
Another one. All right, hold on a second. I gotta pick out my die.
Oh boy.
Okay, we're gonna go with this one. Natural 20, baby. That's let's see, 25, 20, right? 28, 27, 28.
What's your modifier?
I have a +5, so it's 25 plus 3 from my proficiency, so 28.
Okay. Well, that's not
No?
correct.
Am I
You're-
not doing the maths right?
No, your con
Right.
save with proficiency is +5.
Oh, okay.
But
Gotcha.
it's you did
So
still,
25.
well, you did still roll a natural 20. So you as you're walking, you almost stop for a second. You feel like you're gonna throw up, and you just take a second, just take a deep breath, and you're able to work through it, and keep on keeping on. But you get the feeling that whatever happened to you from touching that, it might not be just that initial burst of energy, we'll say.
Can we see her struggle, or
That's up to however she thinks she handled that. I mean, natural 20, I think she just that's just like that. Well, just kept walking, but that's up to her.
She burps, a little purple cloud comes out. Okay.
All right. Well, I think we will. I think we'll end there tonight, because it is 10:08. Unless everybody wants to party.